Hi, you guys. So I would like to continue with my series of speaking about narcissists. So people who've grown up with narcissistic relatives and they've grown up with narcissistic siblings, whether they're younger or older, they tend to not have the development that other people have. And it makes it difficult for them to cope later in life. It makes it difficult for them to deal with things later in life because they didn't have the skills. They weren't given the keys to how to cope in life. And some people will think, well, you're this and that age, you should know how to handle yourself, when sometimes you're so paralyzed with fear that things that are simple for other people are traumatizing and paralyzing for the one who's grown up with narcissistic relatives. It's different when you grew up in a somewhat healthy family and then you got into a relationship with the narcissist. You still have certain coping skills. You still have that ability to see things a little sooner than someone who's grown up with a narcissistic family and they become conditioned to certain abuses. And so they tolerate things longer than they should tolerate things. They don't have the ability to always speak up because the fear grips them. They feel paralyzed. They feel like a child trapped inside of an adult body. Because depending on how long this person was in this narcissistic family and how severe the trauma was, it can be debilitating, seriously debilitating. And how you can tell a fake from the real. The fake person, they love to try to mimic and mirror the empath. So it's easy for them to speak up and say how somebody abused them and how they were the victim, and it's easy for them to say how that person was mean to them and that situation was wrong. It's easy for them to speak on those things because they really weren't affected, and half the time they're lying. But they'll use it, they'll use it to get the sympathy of those around them and then wrap those people around their finger. Next thing you know, because they have outdone everybody else's story, they now expect to be catered to in certain ways. But a true empath, like myself and like you all, can knows that anyone who's truly abused, they're not so quick to want to talk about the abuse. They're not so quick, and it doesn't come so easy to roll off the tongue to speak about what someone has done to you, because it's too painful, and half the time you're still healing from it. And so it comes to my mind when I was working at a previous job, this lady who was sitting next to me, she was talking about an instance where a family member of hers was kidnapped. Well, she mentions that she wasn't close to this family member. She didn't even realize it until sometime later, and she was kept in protective custody with her other family members. But she talked like, look at what a big deal her situation is. I'm not taking away from what happened, but she didn't care about this person. It felt like, to me, she was exploiting her family member in the situation that happened with the family member who was kidnapped. It honestly felt like she was exploiting this situation and trying to and talking in this almost hyped way. That's another thing. Watch out when they talk in this hyped up way about some traumatic thing that they've gone through, because they feel like they just definitely got everybody else beat, and no one can outdo or can top what they've spoke about. So when she was speaking about this, I listened patiently. But when I came to speak about my situation with the house fire, which is a true event that I directly went through, not something that happened to somebody else, but something that directly happened to me. My own brother had passed away in this house fire that I was in. And right next to me, in fact, I barely got out of the window, but he didn't make it out. So he died through the smoke and the fire. But I'm speaking about this to her, and then she's starting to cut in and starting to cut over what I'm saying and trying to rush me and trying to act like okay, like okay, I also been through stuff. So no kind of where I showed her sympathy, even though I could tell this person didn't really care about the member that she was speaking about. She was making it too much about herself and what experience she went through, and not saying anything about the other person who actually was kidnapped and was actually harmed. She's making it all about how it affected herself and not the other person. But I'm speaking about things that directly happened to me and about someone who directly died next to me. And she's trying to rush me and trying to brush over me. So they'll try to bait you in to telling stories, or bait you in to talking about something that was really traumatizing to you. But then they'll try to top your story, and they'll try to diminish what you've said to be like, okay, well, I done outdone you. It's that kind of spirit, and it's that kind of undercurrency. That is a narcissist, and you've re-encountered a narcissist. I realized that I've encountered many narcissists even after I've left my relatives. I've encountered many narcissists on this journey, and what they love to do is to use fictionalized story or over dramatized story or exaggerated stories to drain the energy of anyone else around them and to get those people to come under them. But if you're someone who's truly gone through real trauma and you can see the fake, because someone who's truly in pain doesn't do that, and you don't get sucked in under them, and you're not catering to them and pandering to them, oh, then you're their target. You're the one that they want to come at, and you're the one that they want to turn others against, because you didn't fall for their trap. Now they want to come at you and fight you for it. I'm currently working at another job, and we just got some new people on to the team. Immediately, this new team member starts talking in this domineering way to me. I'm going to help Doris. Well, I'm not some infantile person that needs her help. I didn't need her help. In fact, this was a team project, so it was not, and it was more than just me working on this team. But she's want to talk like she's singling me out and gonna single-handedly help me, when she's not doing that to anybody else. It's like she targeted me. It's like she already read me and decided she's gonna make me her pick-on person. And I just slowly walked away from her, say the prayer under my breath to cancel any evil exchanges, because what people like that do, when they come at you like that, and they want to make it seem like they're helping you, they're really not helping you. They're trying to do evil exchanges with you. They got to do some kind of a deed for you to then snatch your star, snatch your energy, or snatch your glow from you, your spiritual glow from you. And you start to feel your spirit become irritated around this person who wants to make it seem like to everybody else, they got to broadcast it to everybody else, oh, they're helping this person, when I didn't need any help and we were all working as a team together. So I didn't need her trying to come up under me and talk like she's helping some helpless being. I was doing my own work and holding my own. But this is also how some narcissists will be. They will come in under you under the pretense of they're going to help you with this. And they're not asking you if you need their help. They're intruding upon you and forcing it upon you against your will, because that's how they can snatch from you your power and your autonomy. So you feel like you have less and less autonomy, and you feel less and less that you can speak up because this person is on broadcasted to everybody else how much they did for you, that it snatches your own voice from you. That is something to watch out for, and you need to pray to yourself, or if you are in a position where you feel strong enough to speak to the superior, then speak to the superior. A lot of times empaths are on jobs where they can't even speak to their boss about situations because the narcissist has the boss around their finger. But so a lot of times I'll be praying in the bathroom and praying on my breaks, praying on lunches, just for the Lord to get me through the day, because you're around these energy vampires who want to play these games to rob you of your energy. Anytime it becomes really easy for someone to speak on their problems or to speak about someone being mean to them, that's a red flag. Someone who's truly gone through pain, they're not so quick to bring it up. They'll bring it up if it's going to edify and benefit the other person that they're talking with. They're not just going to bring it up just so, and to see how many people get sucked into their emotional black hole. Because they're trying to suck people's energy into a black hole. They don't have no energy for themselves. They're emptying themselves. They're not doing the prayers that they need to pray. So they want to take light from somebody else. And so anytime it becomes really convenient and easy for someone to speak about their problems and to speak about someone doing them wrong, that is a red flag. A person who's truly been wrong, it's not that easy for them to do. Now, on a previous job, we were in training. We were in our 6-week training. And so we were all kind of in this one room, and we had to work together on our computers and projects. Well, this person, I had to work with this person. This person, she starts talking about how her race of people have been done wrong and how much wrong has been done in her country. But yet she herself, her family owns a restaurant. They're living in a very nice area, in a big house, nice cars. She's wearing very nice clothes, but yet still she wants to talk about what's going on to somebody else. And I'm not diminishing what happened to the people in our country, but it's how she is trying to personalize it to herself, and how she is wrapping everybody else around her finger with the story. So as she's telling the story, I can see everybody getting sucked in to her emotional drainage, emotional drain hole. But I didn't, because I've been through real abuse. And so when I acknowledged what she said and was like, I'm sorry you went through that, but I didn't get sucked in like the others did. So she started targeting me. So we had to work on a project together. And this person, because she cozies up to the instructor, she already knew what needed to be done in the project. And we had a certain amount of time that we had to do it in. So when we were working together, she finished her part ahead of me because she already knew what to do. And so she starts rattling off to the instructor, hey, this person is not holding up their part. I've done my part and she's not holding up to her part. I said, I'm still working on mine. I need a little more time to do my own research and to come up with my own responses. But she tried to throw me under the bus and tried to make it seem like I'm not trying to hold my own, and how she's always in situations while nobody is holding their own, and she's always the one who has to do everything. I said, no, that's not the case. I'm doing my own part, but I still need time to do the research, and we still have time on this project. We still had about 30 minutes on the project, but we had 30 minutes in all, so we still had a good extra 15 to 20 minutes left over on the project. So she's trying to throw me under the bus, make me incompetent, make me seem like I'm not holding my own when I am holding my own. And this is how I knew, okay, because I didn't fall for her trap, now she's attacking me. Now she's going to attack me and make me seem like I'm not doing my part when I am doing my part. So I was able to put in my part on the project, and it made her angry. She wasn't happy. She was angry and cold about it. And the instructor had the nerve to look like, oh, well, you didn't get over on this one. She was trying to side with this narcissistic person. The instructor was siding with the person who was trying to throw me under the bus. So they were both kind of together. So a lot of times, empaths, when they have grown up with narcissistic family members, it's very difficult sometimes for them to speak up. It was very difficult and scary for me to speak up at times. So a lot of times I just didn't say anything because it was just too difficult, and I just dealt with the abuse until I was able to gain enough space and gain enough strength and pray enough to be able to then speak up to somebody close to me. I couldn't deal with the person directly because they have such strong evil potency in them. It's hard to deal with them directly. And this is what the average person doesn't understand because they haven't gone through that abuse. People who haven't gone through the abuse, it's easy for them. They still have certain coping skills. So it's easier for them to then speak up to someone and say, hey, no, this ain't how it's going. This is not how it's going to be. It's easier for them to set their boundaries and easier for them to stand up and speak up for themselves. But someone who's gone through narcissistic abuse and grown up around it, their voice is taken from them. Their autonomy is taken from them. Their ability to see ahead and see where they're going in life is taken from them. So much is robbed from them, and until they're literally like a child in a grown body once they become adults and they start to do things on their own. It's a very scary life. Well, I don't mean to keep this too long, but I hope this helps somebody, and God bless you.